Well, good afternoon. How's everybody today? Good. Hope everybody had a good holidays. And as always, I have to start by thanking our community that we serve here in San Antonio. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to provide the service that we provide to the San Antonio and surrounding communities. And we couldn't do that without the leadership and direction of our board. Chairwoman, thank you for being here as always to support us as we talk to our community about the things we've been working on to make sure that we're ready. So as CPS Energy approaches the winter season, we want to inform our community that we have completed the necessary maintenance and planning to ensure reliable service. The maintenance of our plants is on schedule. Still a little bit more work to do on a few of the units, but they will be done this month. And our plants and crews are fully prepared. This year, we acquired power plants in Corpus Christi and Laredo to provide our region and our customers here in San Antonio with additional power, providing our commitment to service reliability and continued resiliency. This year, we've added almost 2,000 megawatts of additional generation capacity, which again, we can't do without the support of our board and our community to make these things happen. Currently, we have a total of 8,178 megawatts of available generation resources, a little over 2,800 megawatts more than what our community utilizes should we experience another record-breaking winter peak demand like the one we experienced last January. For those of you who aren't aware, we set a new summer peak this past summer of 5,858 megawatts. Last winter, we had a short but really cold snap where we hit close to 5,400 megawatts. So our summer and winter peaks are not that far off one another, which is why it's so important to consistently be reinforcing our ability to create new generation options for our customers. So beyond securing more energy and installing more technology, we also continue our efforts to support tree trimming. During the winter, weather-related outages due to trees touching lines are the most common cause of outages. So if we have snow, we have ice, those tree branches will start to come down, and you'll see branches that otherwise would be clear of our lines, that have an impact. And so this current year, we've invested close to $20.6 million in tree trimming for fiscal year 2025, more than any year previously. And we also set aside funds for emergency trimming during severe weather events. So we're always prepared to react to whatever the conditions are in the moment. We're committed to investing in infrastructure resiliency, which results in a more reliable service for our community. We have seen, as a result of this added tree trimming, as storms have come into San Antonio, we've seen less widespread outages. So used to, we could get a storm come in and you might have 40, 50,000 customers out at a given time, even if they were out for a short amount of time. Now that number has come way down because we've got ahead of the tree trimming, and that, tree trimming is the number one thing we can do to ensure that our service is what our customers expect out of us. So we're going to continue to remind our customers and our community to conserve energy. Our demand response programs have been essential through all weather events, especially in the winter. So I would ask our customers to continue to sign up for winter demand response programs available for both our commercial and our residential customers. We will continue to push conservation messaging through our winter season on all our platforms. Obviously, CAM is one of my favorite creations that our marketing team has come up with. I would encourage customers, you have to go in either online to our system or call 353-2222, call our customer service line, and make sure that your preferred communication platforms are up to date. Whether you want to be, contacted by text, you want a phone call, you want an email, we can do it however you want us to do it, but you have to keep those numbers consistently updated. So in closing, we want our community to know that we've done the work necessary to provide service to our community as we head into the winter season. It's been so far a pretty mild winter, but now I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Brian Alonso, our chief meteorologist, who will talk to us about what he expects to see as we move into the winter months. Thank you. We'll take questions here in just a second.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you, Rudy. Well, before we talk about the winter forecast, I wanted to briefly talk about what we've experienced, especially as we went through November and this fall season. We just officially got these numbers in from the National Weather Service within the past hour, telling us that this November was the third warmest on record. Of course, we did see several days where we actually did approach near record highs. Throughout the month, and at the same time, it was rather dry. We're below normal when it comes to precipitation, but when we look at the entire fall season that we just experienced, it's actually the warmest fall season on record, and that's going back records of to 1885. So, yeah, definitely been warm, and it looks like this trend is going to continue as we head into the winter season. The one thing we're going to be looking at is how closely La Nina is going to be playing a factor. Right now, La Nina is where we get the cooling of the Pacific waters in the equatorial Pacific. And right now, things are still on track for a La Nina to emerge here. But long-range forecasts do indicate that this is going to be a weak La Nina. So whenever you get a weak La Nina, there's high variability that is expected to go on when you could talk about winter systems. So right now, we've already seen, especially as we saw last week, we saw a big push of some Arctic air move more towards the eastern parts of the United States. And we got a little bit of a glancing blow, especially on Thanksgiving. That's why you did see those winds really high and those temperatures really cool. And as you go outside right now, those temperatures are still continuing to be on the cool side, but eventually expecting as we go through the rest of our December, later towards mid and late December, those temperatures continue to stay a little bit above normal. And that's what it looks like as we go through the rest of the December, January, as well as February months. So we're looking at above normal temperatures, and we're looking at below normal precipitation as we look at the entire winter season. Now, that's not good news, especially when it comes to the drought situation. We really could use some rain. Now, I am grateful to say that we do have some rain chances in the forecast. You may have noticed clouds starting to thicken up a little bit compared to what we experienced this morning. We have a little bit of a weather pattern change going on this week where we're going to have a little bit of overrunning, where we get cooler air at the surface and some warmer temperatures a little bit aloft. And we're going to get a little bit of a storm system that'll create some very light precipitation. And it looks like those rain chances will be lingering with us as we go into the weekend, as well as into next week. But for the most part, it is expected to be on the dry side. And with that dryness, and when we get these fronts that come in, that really kicks up the winds and really knocks down the relative humidity levels. So the wildfire threat really does go up across Texas. We're really continuing to be on the really dry side when it comes to the drought and to the exceptional category going on, or excuse me, the extreme category here in Bexar County. But things are not good. And of course, we definitely could use that rain, especially when it comes to the aquifer as well as our area lakes. So again, we're going to be looking at above normal temperatures and below normal precipitation as we go through this upcoming winter. Now I'm going to pass it over to Benny Etheridge, Chief of Energy Supply.
Thank you. Good afternoon, folks. Benny Etheridge. We've had a busy year. As Rudy indicated, our units are coming back online and they're ready to go as we bring them back. We've completed weatherization activities. We're making the appropriate attestations to ERCOT. Our teams have been trained. Inventory levels are topped off for critical supplies. Our commercial team has got our fuels contracts in place. We've added additional storage capacity and we've added additional supply capacity. So all in all, our fleet's in very good condition and our commercial team stands ready to deal with any issues that may come up. What I will tell you is I'm absolutely glad to hear Brian's forecast. What I will say is we're still prepared for worst case because we all know we've learned in the past that even though it's a warm season, we could get a few days where it gets really cold. And so our teams are ready for that. They're, as I said, they're wrapping things up now. Uh, and with that, I'd like to turn it over to Richard Medina.
Hi, good afternoon. So like Benny mentioned, our team's first and foremost is safety of our crews. So they completed all their winter training, making sure they have the proper gear for the winter months. They did all their vehicle checks. And then we move into our operational areas and our engineers have looked at the system, did the modeling on both the electric and gas systems to make sure everything is good. And then as far as inventory levels, those are looking good. Our system operators have completed all the training with ERCOT, so they do black start training and load shed training. And then we also did a wildfire prevention type training also. So our teams are all prepared. And then we also did turn in attestations both to ERCOT and the Railroad Commission for all the work we've done. Our system substation groups have went out there and they checked all our substations to make sure they're ready for the winter. So our systems are all ready to go. Next, I'll turn it over to Deanna.
Good afternoon, and thanks everybody for being here. We know from the customer perspective and our community perspective, the most important thing that you expect from us is communication. So as Rudy mentioned, we do want to encourage all of our customers to go online or to call us. You can sign up for our energy alerts. We also have payment reminders, bill notifications that customers can sign up for. And on top of that, we just encourage you to reach out to us. If you know anybody who needs assistance, please call us 210-353-2222. That's for residential customers. We know that our commercial customers also need some assistance. And for those customers, you can call us at 210-353-3333. We've got a lot of options available out to help our customers, whether it's our demand response programs that Rudy mentioned. We also have critical care. So if you or anyone you know relies on some type of electricity to maintain your medical device, please go and sign up for our critical care program. Or again, you can call us 210-353-2222. We also know a lot of people want to be able to help others in need during the holiday season. We have a program in which you could pay the bill for someone or a family that you'd like. So you can go to our website and look at CPS Energy, cpsenergy.com Energy Angels, and you can sign up and help somebody who is in need. And lastly, we'd love to see you. Please feel free to come to any of our events. You can go to cpsenergy.com and /events. You can come see us. We tend to be in 10 places, anywhere in the community, Monday through Saturday, and we'd love to see you. Thank you. Melissa?
Right, thank you all. And Rudy introduced CAM, our chameleon. CAM is designed to help customers follow our energy conservation levels. We launched a color-coded campaign a couple of years ago, and we wanted to do something a little bit more creative and memorable. And so hence CAM joined our team this summer. So you'll start to see that campaign on all of our channels. You all play a big role in that too, in getting the word out about how to save energy and how to save money. That's consistent feedback that we've heard from customers, is they want to know how they can simply do that. So that campaign starts here this week and it'll run through winter. We want to thank you all for being here. What we'll do now is we'll take a couple questions from the podium and then we'll break out into some smaller groups as needed. But we think we can get these questions answered today. So I'll turn it over to Rudy.
Questions?
From a consumer perspective, could you explain how you guys have prepared for this season and how that would affect me in my home in just in more of a layman's terms kind of thing?
Well, the good thing is, we've started off with a pretty mild winter. So obviously, if we have a really cold winter, then if you have an all electric home, you're going to see that impact on your bill if you're having to run your heater a lot. That's the great thing about San Antonio is, little over, maybe about 40% of our customers are on natural gas. And so, that those heating costs actually are about 25% less than they would be otherwise. But, so far it's been a mild winter, which means that bills should be, somewhat moderate. But as you see things get colder, obviously that's going to have an impact on people's bills. So all I would say is we work harder than any utility that I know of to connect with our customers, and for those customers who need help, to actually provide services and provide assistance to help them. So this holiday season, nobody needs to be worried about getting their service disconnected. Actually, when it gets cold enough, we stop disconnections in some cases. But be proactive. That's the main thing. If you're in a situation where you need a little help this holiday season, just call us and let us put you on a payment plan and help you get through the holidays. Thank you. Yes, sir.
When considering stuff like ERCOT's January or realities that you can do all the right things
Right.
And still be affected by the rest of the state. I think, and I don't have it in front of me, I think it was like an 80% chance of controlled outages if we had another winter storm Uri from ERCOT's estimates.
Sure.
how does CPS prepare for that kind of stuff and with, you know,
Yeah.
how could that affect, our customers?
Well, great question. CPS Energy, because of our length in generation, actually helps provide reliability, for the ERCOT market in general. If we have excess power, we put that power back onto the market so that everybody's power is more reliable. But in the event, Winter Storm Uri was such a unique 1 in 100 year, I think, Brian, 1 in 100 year storm. So what that means is that, the possibility of occurrence happens every 100 years of an event like that nature. The entire state of Texas was under freezing. And in that moment, we had some gas supply issues, and really all forms of our power generation were impacted. We had issues with our nuclear plants, we had issues with our coal plants, with our gas plants, because our weatherization program was not as robust as it is today. Now, ERCOT actually comes out and inspects the work that we do at the plants that we said we'd done. When I sign attestations that say we confirm that the work you expect us to do is done, our power plant system is more resilient. So losing 20-30% of our generation is probably not likely. And again, it's very unique for the entire state to be under freezing temperatures. Normally, North Texas might be in freezing, South Texas, still good. So you're not going to have the same impact across the entire state. Now, if we have Winter Storm Uri, yeah, things could get, if we have the similar circumstances where you start to lose power plants, that's always a risk. And it doesn't matter how much additional energy that we have to give back to the state. If ERCOT goes into a controlled outage situation, then we're all impacted. In the event that was to happen, I will tell you that we have done a lot of work year in and year out to make our the system we use to manage those controlled outages much more robust. So there's a lot more, there's a lot more customers in that system today than there were during Winter Storm Uri, which means that we should be able to rotate outages in the manner in which the system is intended to work. That Winter Storm Uri event was just so overwhelming that the amount of power we had to shed in that moment was actually bumped up right up against the total amount of power we had to give back. So it was a very unique set of circumstances, and all utilities across the state have gone back, looked at their load shed systems, and have tried to make that as efficient as we possibly can. So even in that moment, I believe our load shed system will be able to hold up a lot better.
One of the
Yes.
first things that you said is that CPS is ready in the event that, winter weather comes. Could you walk us through what that checklist looks like and what it took for you guys to prepare to get to that point?
Sure. So each part of our business has a set of tasks they have to do. Obviously, again, and I'll go back to, how our system, the entire ERCOT market really has evolved. Because we're in the state of Texas, our plants were designed to get heat out of the plant so that in the summertime, we could manage the temperature of everything that was operating. What we learned about Winter Storm Uri is, if you're trying to keep heat in a plant, you've engineered the plant the exact wrong way. So we go around building temporary structures to protect certain pieces of equipment that we knew were subject to the freezing temperatures in a way that was going to impact plant reliability. So now, we know exactly what we had trouble with that last time, and we're protecting it a lot differently. We've changed out equipment that we can't use anymore, relays and things that, that didn't work exactly the way they should have in those moments. We've identified those, and we've done, and every year we've got a full checklist. Every plant is engineered a little differently, has a different set of things we have to do to it to make it more resilient. And so by the time, our commitment to ERCOT comes to me to sign, there are sub-lists of sub-lists of sub-lists that Benny and Richard's team primarily are checking off to make sure that we've done what we said we were going to. We've done what we know we need to do to make our system ready. So it is an extensive process. Usually we start that process in September. And again, I just signed the attestations last week. So that's a 2-3 month process.
One more question. Anyone else? All right.
All right.
Well, for our Spanish language folks that are here, we have Malani and Miguel that we can take off and do some interviews too.
Yep.
So thank you all.
Thank you all for being here.